Hey, it's Joe Crump. I wanted to invite you to my two-day buying event, which is coming up very soon. Um, I wanted to tell you a little bit about it and what we do and how I work with the folks that are involved in that program. The buying event and the mentor program are all part of the same package now. Used to be a few years ago. I had the 6-month mentor program and I had a separate boot camp, which I would bring people to. Both of them cost $10,000 a piece to come to. But what I discovered was the people that were in my 6-month mentor program, they needed to get together with me, and I needed to meet them, and I needed to work with them directly. The people that came to my boot camp, they'd go home and they wouldn't get the work done. They needed that support over the next 6 months. So instead of charging for both of these events independently, I piled them all together into one big package. It's still the same price, but now you get both of the things together. The buying event has been a phenomenal experience. One of the struggles that I had as a teacher was trying to get my students to follow through with what I teach them, to make sure that they do the things that I teach them, because I know that it all works. We start them out with the for rent method, get them on the phone making calls, making offers. Ultimately, they don't have to make these calls. Once they learn how to do it, we get the automation going and get the calls coming to them. But at the beginning, I think it's very important that they make the calls and learn how to do this process. You only learn it by doing it. It's like kind of like playing the piano. You know, you can learn sheet music and study music theory all your life, but if you don't sit down and start touching those keys and playing scales, you're not going to learn how to do it. And what I do at this event is actually get you doing the work, because that's where I felt the biggest stumbling block for people getting started was. They needed somebody to kind of take them by the hand and show them, okay, do this first, focus on this one thing. And that's what we do at the buying event. I teach for the first 2.5, 3 hours of the morning on the first day. I teach the for rent method process. Then we break for lunch, and after lunch we come back and we start making calls. We actually make offers on real property, and it's not just in Indianapolis, but in wherever the particular student is located. If they're located in Canada, it's in Canada. If it's in California, it's in California. If it's in Texas, it's in Texas. We make those offers. Everyone makes them to their own area and to their own location. I show them how to do that, who to call, what to say to them. I give them a script. We go through the process of role playing so that they are comfortable saying the words. It's a very exciting time. You know, just to give you an example of what kind of success we're having as well with this, you know, we put 48 people into a room. These are all mentor students of mine, and by late afternoon, after they'd made the calls, we had 98 yeses, 98 deals put together in the for rent method. So these people went home then and put together a bunch of these properties. So it was a very exciting time, and I think that it proved to me that if I just get people working, just get behind them and sort of breathe down their neck and say, look, you got to do this, make the call, you know, here's what's going to happen. When they did it, they got confidence. And I could see a huge difference between what they were saying to me in the morning and what they were saying to me after they had gotten a yes. There's just, it's hard to describe what I saw on their faces, and I think it was hard for them even to describe the feeling that they had, other than excited, elated, you know, overjoyed that they could actually get a yes on a zero down offer, not using any of their credit, not using any of their money, doing it from a remote location, you know, over the phone, not even having to meet with the people, to leads that are common and free, you know, any place in the country. And that was exciting to them, and suddenly I think it gave them a vision of what's possible in this business, and how you can take this business. You could actually quit your job, you can work you know, full-time with this, or you can do it part-time. And you can, working part-time, most of the people working part-time are able to reproduce their current income as it is right now. And we've got people that have replaced, you know, high 6-figure incomes at this business. So. And that's just with the cash flow, and that's just with the for rent method, because there's lots of other things that we're teaching as well. I've been doing this series of videos to kind of give you an idea of some of the things that I'm teaching. And as you know, there's tons of different things that we do. But you've got to start somewhere. And no business is sustainable without cash flow. So you've got to get the cash flow going first. And that's what the buying event is all about. And just to kind of give you an idea of how this buying event works, it's in Indianapolis. I always do it there. I used to travel around and doing different places, but there's no reason to go to Vegas or to California other than the fact that it's Vegas or California. The reason we're here is to get to work and to learn the things that you need to learn. They come, they focus on this. That's all we do. We start in the morning, we go till night. I usually meet with them on Friday night, just in the lounge, just to kind of meet them and get to know who they are and get to talk to them a little bit. Some of the people, they're old friends. They've been before, or they've been in my mentor program, and I've never met them personally. They finally come. We come to the events together. Then on Saturday, we start in the morning. We go all day long, go until the evening. And then after we're done in the evening, we all go together. And this is a small group, by the way. We all go together as a group to a local restaurant. We sit down together and have a drink and talk about what they learned during the day. And I'm right there with them through that whole process. My goal is to develop a relationship with everybody that comes through my program so that they know that I'm behind them, that I'm supporting them, that I'm in their corner making this happen. The other goal that I have for it, other than the fact that I want them to learn all this stuff and get going, is that they meet the other people in my group, because there are a lot of good people with positive attitudes. One of my rules about getting into my program is you got to have a positive attitude. I don't allow whiners or complainers in this group. If that's who you are, you can't be involved, because it just shuts everybody down. So we want to keep the thing positive. And I want to create a mastermind group. Most of the techniques that are coming out of this program, the things that I'm teaching, are things that I've learned from my students. I think I've learned more from teaching than I ever learned in the first 10 years of my business before I started teaching. And it's been phenomenal. Plus, I've been able to take the internet marketing stuff that I'm doing here, selling information products, and apply that to real estate investing. And that's been even more exciting. And then people will go out and they'll tweak it, and they'll do it in different parts of the country, in different markets, up markets, down markets, high-end markets, low-end markets, all sorts of different markets we've been using this in over the past few years. And we change our techniques a little bit over time, but most of them are evergreen. They're working all the time for us. Right now, we're in an extraordinary time with the market the way it is right now. We're in an extraordinary time to be able to make a lot of money in real estate, and that's very exciting. And you need to be taking advantage of it right now if you're at all interested in becoming a realtor, or I'm not a realtor, a real estate investor. Big difference. And by the way, if you are a realtor, you ought to look into this as well, because you're probably hurting right now because you can't go out there and get, your buyers can't go out there and get loans very easily. So we've got ways to help realtors get more listings, get more buyers, and do a lot more business just with their real estate agency business. And when they take those things to the next level and go into real estate investing, they make even more money. So a lot of exciting stuff with that. Now, if you'd like to find out more about my program, I'm putting the URL below, the web address that you can go to on the screen here. So you can take a look and see some of the things that we're doing, what the cost is, the different kind of payment plans that we've got. It's a $10,000 program, but there's discounts in the process. If you're a member of my cash flow program, which is a $39 a month newsletter and audio or video that I send out every month, if you're in that program, then it's automatically 30% off. If you're not in that, you can get in that. It's cheap. So you save $3,000 right off the bat there. So it's $7,000, and you can pay $2,000 up front and pay it over 12 months for $416.67 a month for 12 months. Or if you pay it all in a lump sum, I'll take another $1,300 off, and it'll only be $5,700. So it's really not as expensive as it sounds. You can get in very cheaply. I'll finance most of it for you. You don't have to have good credit. You don't have to have a job, as far as I'm concerned. I'll finance it. You come up with the $2,000. I'll finance the rest of it for you, and I'll help you make that money so that you can make those payments. Now, there's a couple of caveats here. I want you to be sure you understand. Give yourself time to learn this process. It doesn't happen overnight. I tell everybody, give yourself 3 to 4 months before you can expect to start making any money in this program. Now I've got people who do it in a week, but they're the exception, not the rule. So give yourself the time. I think I probably mentioned this before on these videos. I see what I call the 5-week burn. After 5 weeks, people give up, and they just stop doing the work. They stop coming on my conference calls. And this isn't everybody. This is people that they get frightened, they get frustrated, they feel like, oh no, this is not going to change my life like I thought it was overnight. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a business building program, and if you treat it like a business, I guarantee that you're going to make money. You know, I have a guarantee on this program. I guarantee that you will buy a property within the first 6 months, and you will sell it and make money, or I'll give you back all your money for the program. Now, there is one condition to that guarantee, and that you have to follow through with what I teach. If you follow through with what I teach, and I make it very specific in our agreement what those things you have to do are, so there's never any question about what those things are that you have to do. But if you follow through those programs, I guarantee that you will make the money. Now, I also guarantee you won't make a dime if you don't do the work. So don't get involved in the program if you're not going to follow through, if you're not going to do the work. You need 8 to 10 hours a week if you're really serious to be able to make this thing work. So if you don't have 8 or 10 hours a week to devote to this, don't do it. And I'm not talking about just the training part. I'm talking about actually doing the work. Now, there's not much training that you have to do to get started. I give you a ton of information when you sign up for the mentor program, when you sign up for the buying event. I give you 2 big boxes of materials, CDs and DVDs and audios, and there's also thousands of hours of conference calls online, you know, with lots of information, with lots of different techniques that we use and have used over the years. It's overwhelming to everybody that starts. So I say, put all that stuff aside. You know, don't worry about any of the automation. Don't worry about the subject to stuff. Don't worry about building long-term wealth and passive income. Don't worry about that stuff right now. What I want you to worry about is developing cash flow. I want you to get to the cash as quickly as possible, because if you do that, it'll give you incentive to go to the next level and the next level. You've got to walk before you can run. The thing is about real estate investing, it's not like a 4-year college where you have to go 4 years and then maybe you get a job and maybe you make $50,000 a year and you're working 40 hours a week or 50 hours a week, and you slowly and gradually over the years build your way up to making $70,000 a year. Not very exciting. This is something where you can start making money almost immediately. I've got people that have replaced 6-figure incomes within a month of starting this program. It is possible to do it if you put the effort in. Now, some of these people come in at different levels. If you're a brand new newbie, know nothing about this stuff at all, give yourself a little more time. If you know a little bit more and you're comfortable speaking with people and talking to people and relating to people, maybe it'll happen a little bit faster for you. But you've got to give yourself time to do it, and I'm going to have you focus on just one thing. You listen to a 2-hour audio. I'm going to have you listen to a 2-hour audio right when you start in, and you're going to start making offers that very first week. When you come to the buying event, you're going to make offers at the buying event. I'm also going to teach you how to automate the process, because there's steps to this process. First, you got to get the cash flow. Next, you got to automate that process so the cash flow happens easier and in less time. Next, you've got to start outsourcing some of the work so that you've got other people that are doing some of the stuff, really low-paid people that are easy to get, that are not employees, by the way. They're going to be independent contractors that are going to do the work for you. You've got to learn how to structure your business, whether to get an LLC or a corporation, or how you're going to put that all together. These are things that come after you start making money. Making money is the first thing that you do. Then you're going to learn to separate yourself from the business, so you can put in just a few hours a week and have everything running for you and make the same income that you were making while you were working full-time at the business. So very exciting stuff. And I want to see people be able to quit their job. One of the ways that I tell people to know whether or not they can quit their job is to look at their income. Have they made consistent income that is equal to their job or their needs over a 3-month period? I have some people that make lots and lots of money that come into this program. Their goal isn't necessarily to replace all their income. Their goal is to replace a little bit of their income, enough so that they can survive until they can grow their business, so that they can quit a job that they hate. They may be making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year at their regular job, but they hate their job. They don't want to go there anymore. And this makes it possible for that to happen for them very quickly if they follow through with the process. So anyway, that's my buying event. That's my mentor program. There's so much more that you can find out about. Go to the website here below, and it'll tell you more about it. And I hope that you can join us. One last thing. I don't know of anybody that's successful that has been successful without a mentor. It doesn't matter whether you choose me or whether you have someone else that teaches you. If you want to be successful in this life, you need someone who helps you along, who's sort of, your guiding light, who holds your hand through the process, someone who you can follow in their footsteps and go the place that they have gone before you. because they've already been that path. They already know how to do it. They can be there to encourage you. So whether it's me, and again, I'm applying for that job. I want to do that for you. But if you don't feel that this is right for you, if you don't feel I'm the right guy for that, then I encourage you to find someone that you can work with to help you get to where you want to go. Because it is one of the most important things, maybe the most important thing that you can do for yourself if you want to have your own business, if you want to have the freedom, if you want to be able to give the things that you want to be able to give to your family and the ones you love, if you want to be able to give back to your community and do good things for the world, if you want to be able to be in a business that is not stealing from people, you know, it's not like Balzac said, behind every fortune is a crime. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. And maybe I'm rambling along here, but some of these things are pretty important. You know, you don't have to steal from people to become wealthy. The more people that you help, the more good things you do in the world, the more value you provide for the world, the more money you'll make. When you change the focus from what's in it for me to how can I help those people solve their problem, and what can I do where I can go out and help people that will actually make me money. So those are the things that I help you through in this program, in this buying event, and in my 6-month program. So I hope you'll get involved. I look forward to working with you. Give me a call, and we'll talk about it more. Thanks.